Hey YouTube, this week's topic of discussion is needles. Trigger warning. I've never actually done a trigger warning ever in my life, but I guess since we're talking about needles and I'm going to be showing you guys needles, you know, there's a trigger warning for needles with this video. For some reason, if needles or any thought of needling offends or disturbs or makes you nervous, you might want to click off this video right now. So, me being a trans man, being on T for a year, 3 days ago, happy maniversary to me. Being a trans man on T, I obviously need to inject myself with a needle full of testosterone once every 2 weeks, every 14 days. This right here is my last needle shot right here. I took it, I didn't throw it out yet because I was gonna save it for this video, but, oh crap. I'm a mess. I just spilled like little excess testosterone on myself. That's not a big deal. This is a needle that has not been opened. Funny story, apparently for this entire year I've been using the wrong size needle, and I've been using a needle that is way too big for the kind of shot that I've been giving myself, and I didn't realize that till I went to the doctor, ironically the day I was supposed to take my shot, and I was like giving her my needle. I'm like, can you give me this? And my doctor was like, what are you doing with a needle that massive? I didn't know that there was like specific sizes for needles. I just thought you get a needle and then you inject yourself and that was it. But apparently it goes into more detail than that because I was giving myself the wrong size shot. Needles can be nerve-wracking for guys that either want to start T or are on T. I have friends that are actually avoiding even going to the doctor to start T because they're so nervous about the injections themselves, about the needles. I do not have a fear of needles, nor have I ever, because I used to work in a medical unit and I was subjective to IVs and needles and shots and all that crap in my life, so therefore I'm very used to the idea of needles and it doesn't really disturb or bother me. That's not the case for every guy. Some guys really do have a strong fear of needles and all that, which is completely normal. It's a very rational fear. It's kind of sucky because most guys that are on T have to self-inject or have somebody inject them. There is some sort of way to go on T, the gel. It's called like the androgel or something of the sort. I only know in real life one person that is on the gel. I don't really know anyone else. I mean, I've seen people online using the gel, but I have a transgender friend who I've known for a number of years who is on the gel, but his insurance actually doesn't cover the gel, and that's kind of sucky. I don't know, like, if it depends on what country or what area you're living in, but in New York, on Long Island in the United States, certain insurance companies do not cover the gel, and it sucks. Now, needles can be very nerve-wracking, but I think that in an aspect, if you don't have a choice and you have to go by needle to inject your testosterone, I think that you really need to stop and think about the importance of the shot and how it's going to make you feel better about yourself, help alleviate your dysphoria, and just make you feel all around more healthy mentally. I know it can be nerve-wracking, but you just need to remind yourself over and over again, this is what I need to do to get to where I want to be. Also, something that can sort of alleviate the emotional nervousness or anxiety of the shot is where you insert it. I insert my shot in my hip, and because of that, it's kind of a fatty, muscly, muscular area of fat and goop. I think that by inserting it into like a thicker area, that will alleviate anxiety, because if you're going to be putting your shot right into your leg, then therefore that could cause some anxiety since you're so close to the skin and the bone and all that jazz. I feel as if a thicker area may help just kill the nervousness in a way. I know that's easy for me to sit up here and say mind over matter with this, but some guys are really afraid, and I would definitely look into the androgel and the creams for going on T. I don't know a lot about that, and I'm not an educator on it, but I know that you have to like put it on your skin for an hour after you shower or something of the sort, and you can't have any like physical contact with a another person for a while because they could start feeling the effects of the tea. Oh, actually, I did meet a trans guy a week ago that is on the androgel. I forgot about that because I'm dumb. He really likes it because he has anxieties about his needles and all that, so he's on the androgel. And wow, he may be watching this video. I am so dumb that I completely forgot about that. Shots suck. They really suck. When I first started tea, I was like, I'm never going to be able to give myself my shot. I was so nervous all the time, constantly. And then there was a really bad storm, and I couldn't get in touch with my friend who's a nurse. And I had to give myself my shot, so I literally like waited till the absolute last minute. Then I finally gave myself my shot, and I was like, what am I worried about? I feel more confident and better now, me being in control by me giving me my own shot than I do with another person. I have only bled once from giving myself my shot, and it was because I drank alcohol previously before giving myself my shot a few hours before, and I didn't realize that how thin the blood becomes because of alcohol, so I like started bleeding profusely, and I didn't really make the connection until afterwards that I was drinking alcohol the few hours beforehand, and it just really thins the blood, especially if you're like a little person like me. So don't take your shot when there's alcohol combined. Just stay sober for that. Even though I wasn't drunk or anything, still it thins the blood, and it's just a really messy situation. I do have some friends that actually go to a clinic or a doctor every time they need to take their tea shots, which could help some guys with their anxiety and such, since they might feel better and safer in the hands of a doctor. So hopefully that can help out somebody who's either anxious or nervous about the whole idea of the needle. And I really should have gone and like picked up smaller needles for this video, because I really need to, because I am just dumb and inserting this massive needle this big into myself when I really need a needle like this big. But you know, whatever. When I'm not lazy, I'll go to the store and buy it, because they're only like 10 cents each, and I'm pretty sure like my insurance covers it. Ooh, that's making me cross. Like I'm saying, the conclusion of this video, because I've been rambling on, if you are nervous about your shots, you should definitely look into the gel for the tea, and if you can't, get the gel in place of the tea, then I think either besides trying to overcome it, maybe talk to a doctor about your nervousness and all that, and get your shots done by a professional, because that could really help alleviate the stress and the pain emotionally and blah 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 blah.